What's going on, world? It's your boy KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World, and I'm so excited to talk to another amazing creator behind Lifeline's ACES and AROS Kickstarter campaign anthology book. That's just going to be very special. Shout out to my pal Jeremy Whitley. I've had a bunch of the creators on so far, and today another amazing one. I have Suzanne Wdowik, who's contributing. I believe Correspondence is the name of your story, if I'm not mistaken.
Character creation.
Character creation. I'm sorry. We're gonna talk all about it. But as you see, she's on the screen. I'm gonna shoot out some air horns because I just messed up. Air horns going off. We're celebrating, Suzanne. We're excited you're here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So, how did you catch wind of Lifeline putting together this new anthology about aces and arrows?
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit of a funny story. I'm actually in another anthology, came out a few years ago. So I know a person named Bex Allerton, who is a part of the, comics community, all of that. In a Discord that we're all in together, she actually mentioned, hey, there's this opportunity, coming around. I don't know if anyone in this chat is, aromantic or maybe asexual, but there's this opportunity. And that got me really excited because, I wanted to contribute because I myself am both asexual and aromantic. I thought, hey, you know what? I might as well. I'm not a very well-known creator, but, I thought I had a story that might be worth telling. Went ahead, to shoot my shot, and here we are.
I love it. I love it. And especially just for the fact that I think we all know as a person of color, and my whole thing is about representation. This is just going to be so meaningful for everybody in the asexual and aromantic community to feel seen. And we all need to feel seen in this world that we're living in, because it's where I thought at one time we were starting to be seen and things were changing, but
Right.
I don't want to get into politics, but it now seems like we're heading the other end. I can't help but talk like this because I live in DC,
like
Suzanne.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm very scared, but
hmm
it's so helpful because we need this so that way we can at least feel like we have community, because I've lost so many friends to people that felt they weren't loved, they weren't cared for. And so I appreciate you and everyone else that's contributing to this to help the community. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So you have this story that was in the knocker, in the
Mhm.
noggin. Can you tell me a little bit about it without spoiling? Because we want people to pick up the book and
Of
support the
course.
campaign. What is the story you have in mind for Aces and Arrows?
Yeah, absolutely. So my story is called Character Creation because, to boil it down to kind of a one sentence thing, it's a semi-autobiographical comic about someone in kind of a video game, treating the video game is life, learning kind of the buffs and the debuffs that come with choosing asexual or aromantic as your kind of, stats, essentially. The reason why I wanted to write this story is because a lot of things that people don't understand about those identities are kind of how it changes how you interact with the world or interact with other people, just how you're seen in the world as well. But I wanted to show it in kind of a humorous, kind of a light way. Because like you were saying, right, it's definitely a scary time for a lot of different identities, a lot of different marginalized communities. And I kind of want to share some joy, while also, kind of showing like, hey, this is why there are some struggles within, society right now amongst marginalized community. Maybe if we can share community, if we can share, kind of, knowledge about, you know, who we are, why we, our identities are important, that kind of thing. That's kind of, what I was going for, at least with the comic.
I love it. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait to check it out. So you have this story that I'm sure
Mhm.
you're gonna rock it, but in an anthology, you only get X amount of pages. I've contributed to
Oh
anthologies as
yeah.
well. How do you kind of bring that story idea down to X amount of pages?
Mhm.
And or maybe this will be a start of maybe something you want to further explore with another project, maybe. And so if you can
Absolutely.
speak on that, and then being paired to whomever creator artists you're working with on this as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in terms of, paring your story down, I think that process is actually very fun when it comes to comic creation. Like I said, I was in another anthology. That anthology was actually about autism awareness because I am also autistic. And I had a similar thing there. Like, okay, we got to pare down these pages, right? Because we all have to, get all of our stories in there. That's the important thing about anthologies, right? Is that you have a lot of different voices, so we could all share kind of different perspectives on the same identity because not everyone is asexual the same way that someone else is. It's a spectrum, right? In terms of the process of paring it down, honestly, I think it makes the story tighter. It makes it better. It makes me think more like, how do I get these ideas across in a way that's punchy, that's really, people read it and immediately like, oh, I get it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually really enjoyed that process. In terms of working with, so Janssen is the one who did the art. I was very excited and very nervous. I've never had someone do the art on my comics before. Usually I do my own art. So I was afraid I was going to be a little protective of my story. And I was like, oh, it's my story. But whether or not it was because of the way I wrote the script or because Janssen is a fantastic artist, which he is, he sent those pages back. I had no notes. Just immediately, like it breathed life to my comic. It's exactly what I was picturing. Like this is it. This is perfect. So it was honestly a wonderful experience for sure.
I love that. And I know that nervousness is crazy.
Mhm.
But it's how we learn, it's how we build. So I'd
Yep.
like to shift from that then in regards to from creative to creative pro tips because I get a lot of people that watch these interviews that are creatives
Mhm.
that want to get into an anthology like you are right now and what we've done, right? What would you say are some of the biggest lessons you've learned along the way as a creator and with this, learning to work with your artists on this? What are just some pro tips that you would throw out there to any creative out there that is aspiring to, be a part of something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say honestly, collaboration and just going for it are kind of the big ones that I would say. I'm actually all my life I've wanted to be a novelist, so that's the art that I'm used to, which is very isolating, right? It's very like I'm off in my little writing corner, I'm writing my novels. I first got involved with that first anthology on Twitter of all things because I saw, like I mentioned, this person Bex Allerton just posted, "Hey, I'm looking for autistic creators who are interested in this," and I had a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of like, "Ooh, I've never published a comic before. I've done art before, but like I've never done that professionally. Should I even reach out? I don't know. Do it. Reach out, right? Make those connections, even if you don't." Immediately get into an anthology, if you don't immediately publish something, just reaching out, connecting to your fellow artists, your fellow creatives, learning from them, right? I'd say that's like the biggest step, honestly. And that's really helped me out as well, is just taking that step, making those connections. It is really the biggest thing that I think kind of got me to where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I love talking process because as a creative, we always try to figure out ways to get to that endpoint better sometimes,
Yep.
especially as a writer. Like I'm a filmmaker and like you
Hmm.
said, you're a novelist, but then I also have written comic books. It's a different way of thinking, which I'm sure you've kind
Yes.
of had to learn. And with you, you said you were an artist as well, right? And now then you had
Hmm.
to collab differently. It's learning to I found for myself learning to pull back because I can be I'm sure like overly
Yep.
descriptive. Like I need to
Absolutely.
not do that because I need to allow my artists to have the freedom to be creative themselves and explore and put what they want to put onto the page, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
I completely agree with that. Yeah, that was one thing I was worried about, because my normal process for comics is I kind of do thumbnailing at the same time that I'm writing it, because I'm like, I need to picture what this is gonna actually look like. So I don't really have a full script out. I'm really, thumbnailing and
samesies.
script. Yep. So that's typically how that goes. So I was very tempted to just over detail, yeah, put all those details in, like it's got to be this and this and this and this, and oh shoot, am I adding enough? But yeah, when you've got that artist that you're collabing with, it's like, okay, this is the vibe I'm going for. This is the message I want to come across. So in whatever way your art can make this come across, right? You don't necessarily need to give them all these intricate details. Trust that like they are an artist for a reason. Like you're working with them for a reason, right?
Yeah,
Kind of giving that trust to whoever you're collaborating with, and saying, okay, this is my vision. How can we work together to bring that across is really important. That kind of trust between collaborators.
completely agree. Yeah, learning how to pull back is just like my biggest thing, and now still. Um,
Hmm.
so, do you just kind of put that in the So how do you kind of relay that in a way? Is it like Zoom calls? Do you do Zoom notes, or you work through the editor? What are some of the ways or methods you do to like allow them to have freedom? Because that's my big thing. I want you to be free, fly with me. You're just as amazing as I am to be in this. We both got selected to be in this, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I would say for me personally, part maybe it's just because I have anxiety and I'm autistic and all of that. I much prefer to communicate via like whatever like text way is
gotcha.
possible,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But honestly, that was perfect, at least for this comic. Janssen was so great to work with. Otherwise, like if I was really having an issue, like, talking in person can sometimes help, overcome like, okay, we really need to get on the same page. I find that talking in person is really good for that, or like talking over Zoom, that kind of thing. But I didn't need to do that at all here, because
wonderful.
we
Yeah.
just communicated via messages, um, and it honestly went way better than I was even hoping for. So,
That's
you know,
awesome. And I don't mean to say that it happened here. I just mean it. I'm curious in general
interesting.
because there's a lot of us, that are very introverted, somewhat extroverted, just those different ways.
Hmm.
How do we as creatives that fit those lanes or labels come out of that in order to be creative and explore together and do what we have to do to accomplish the goal? So thank you for sharing. And shout
Absolutely.
out to your artists again on this. I don't want to mess up the name, and I feel like I'm going to mess it up. And I heard you mention it a couple times. So shout
Janssen,
out
yeah.
to your creative artists working with you on this. Before I let you go, and again, I want to remind everybody, please support the campaign right now. It's going on. The link will be in the description below. I'm also going to have all of Suzanne's links as well, so you can support her, follow her. Is there anything else we can highlight? And also, if you can share those links as well, Suzanne, for those that are possibly driving while listening to this interview. I have a lot of people that like will download and listen while they're driving because
Hmm.
I live in DC. We commute, so there's not always
Yep.
time to watch. So we listen while driving.
Oh yeah, I get that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to find me on socials, I go by Margaret Wins. It's a character name in one of my stories. So that's my name on things like Blue Sky or Instagram. In terms of other things you can find me on, the other anthology that I mentioned, Sensory Life on the Spectrum, that came out a few years ago, but you can find that anywhere that you sell books. That's pretty much it, I would say. Like I said, I'm a novelist, so a lot of it is I'm still working on projects that aren't out yet. So not too much
Awesome.
to promote in that sense, but yeah,
No worries.
absolutely.
Well, as they come along, please come back so I can throw some virtual flowers on a job well done of putting that work
Hmm.
in to get that project out there. Because I think as a creative, that is what we do as creatives. We support our community. And to me,
Exactly.
creativity breeds other creativity. So you're giving to me, we're giving energy. It's a cycle. So let's
Hmm.
support and help each other. Suzanne, thank you so much for your time. It's indeed a pleasure. Congratulations on this. And again, let me remind everybody, Aces and Arrows, go support the
Woo.
Kickstarter campaign right now. Link is in the description. All of Suzanne's links are in the description below. Go follow her like I did. I'm following her on Blue Sky and Twitter and all the things. You should too. Let's support her as she continues her journey being the next superstar that I know she's going to be. Suzanne, thank you for your time. I'm KUYA P. Nerds rule the world. All right, there's a cut.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. KUYA P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
and you're right, nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
So much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P, nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. Boom. All right. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 to help me with my edit, and we'll get right into the conversation. All right. There we go. Let's go. In a 1, 2, 3.